Good morning, everyone. My name is Julia Cato. I'm one of the managers here at Honeywell International Incorporated. I'm here to share with you the organizational design, structure, and change that are being faced and currently being experienced through Honeywell. First and foremost, we want to talk about a major issue that is being faced by Honeywell currently. And in light of the 8 dimensions that are looked at by Fortune magazine when they are deciding the most admired companies. So those 8 dimensions are innovativeness, quality of management, long-term investment value, social responsibility to the community and the environment, quality of products and services, financial soundness, wise use of corporate assets, and finally, effectiveness in doing business globally for those international companies. So Fortune magazine looks at all 8 of these dimensions and they rank companies based on a scale of which ones are most admired and how they do in all of these 8 dimensions. So the major issue that is being faced by Honeywell currently is supply chain shortages and being able to deliver products to customers. This specific issue falls under underperformance on Honeywell's behalf, on behalf of the dimension of quality of management, specifically how Honeywell is managing their product and pricing that product based on inflation and looking out for their margins rather than pricing that product based on the value that is being offered to customers. We're going to dig deeper into that problem that is being faced in these 6 different areas. First, we're going to look at the ramifications. What is the ramification for underperformance in this category? Next, we're going to look at the structured influence, the influence that this is having on organizational effectiveness in both relationships and from a fiscal point of view. Next, we're going to look at conscious culture. We're going to determine, is Honeywell really managing that conscious culture and building those relationships well? Fourth, we're going to look at an improvement plan based on Kotter's 8-step change model. Fifth, we're going to look at potential challenges that we might face as we're implementing this plan. And sixth, and finally, we're going to look at an evaluation of why this plan is going to work. Let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, those ramifications, damaged relationships. This is one of the most important aspects of running a business is the relationships that you have, both from management to employees and from employees and managers to the customers. And of course, because Honeywell is not being able to deliver this product, these customer relationships have been damaged because of unfulfilled orders that are backlogs for months and months, which means lost profit on behalf of the customers. Which leads me into my next ramification of lost profits on behalf of Honeywell. In fact, in 2021, the sales goals, which were originally set at 35.2 billion, had to be cut down to 24.2 billion, according to our research. This is a major loss in profit, but not only is there a loss in profit and damaged relationship, but customer acquisition. Of course, if we can't maintain the relationships that we have with our customers, we're not going to be able to acquire new customers and to get new customers to join in our relationships with Honeywell. Next, we're going to look at the structure of and how that structure has influence on the effectiveness of an organization. So this is broken really down into 3 different components. There's the structure, there's design, and there's culture. And all 3 of these components are crucial in making a company effective. Honeywell does these things really well, actually. First, there's structure. We have a clear organizational chart. Design, we have highly disciplined employees who are willing to take risks, but not just take risks, but to have them be calculated risks that are based on data and information from highly skilled experts. Next, we're looking into the culture. We have great leadership at Honeywell International. The company really rates high as far as the culture. which is evident by Honeywell being ranked as one of those most admired companies by Fortune magazine. They actually got a score of 7.23 as an overall score, and this was based off of all 8 of those things, off of those 8 dimensions. So despite having some issues and running into some complications, really when a company focuses on the organizational design, structure, and culture, it really makes an impact. And it's noted here by Future Magazine's note on the most admired companies. So next I want to take a look at conscious culture. I love this definition of conscious culture. It says creating a more humanistic environment based on trust, authenticity, and transparency. So now let's really look at conscious culture in relation to Honeywell International. So some of the strengths of conscious culture at Honeywell is transparency with customer and employees. It's been noted that Honeywell really has this as a strength. Next is a potential weakness in the area of conscious culture, which is pricing based on inflation rather than values for customers. As managers, this is an issue we've really been looking into as far as how we need to build relationships with our customers. Even if this means having smaller margins for the time being while we have these supply chain shortages, we may be having a smaller margin, but we'll keep customers, which means that in the long term, it's going to be worth it because we have those customers to keep our business going. And finally, we want to look on how improving organizational function, how this has an impact on the function of an organization as a whole. Conscious culture can help improve supply chain issues by valuing the customer despite potential challenges. So as I've stated previously, we have these supply chain issues. It's hard to deliver product, but it's really important that we focus on the relationships in the short term so that they can have a payoff in the long term, rather than focusing on our margins in the short term and losing customers and hurting our business over the long term. Next, we want to look at how we're going to improve the situation. This plan is based on Dr. Kotter's 8 steps for leading change. Those steps are listed here on the screen. First, we want to create a sense of urgency. We're going to do this at Honeywell by sharing these ramifications that we've discussed with employees and having them recognize what the potential downfall of these ramifications can be. Next, we're going to build a guiding coalition. Essentially, we're going to use our employee network to bond together over a strategic vision. That's the third step. We're going to set a strategic vision by working together on having a customer-centric pricing system. This means we're looking at the value that we're delivering to our customers, and we're setting our pricing based on that value that Honeywell has to offer. Next, we're going to enlist a volunteer army, in our case, our wonderful band of employees. We're going to enable action by removing barriers. For example, bidding wars is a huge area where we could run into some issues, but we're going to overcome these barriers by, again, focusing on that customer-centric pricing. We're going to generate short-term wins, which means we're going to supply product to loyal customers. We want to be able to supply this product so that we can keep our customer relationships strong. We're going to sustain an acceleration. So as we are meeting this customer demand, we're going to continue to push and push and push until we can, again, focus on customer acquisition and gaining new accounts. Eighth and finally, we're going to institute change. And really, this is just the culmination of all 7 steps. We've worked hard. We're going to create change, not only at Honeywell, but also with our customers and their businesses. Next, we're going to look at the potential challenges. So for example, small margins is a potential challenge that we can face. But during this post-COVID recovery time, we're going to prioritize customer retention and value-based pricing. The next one we need to look at is this subsystem alignment. Different systems within Honeywell need to be realigned in order to achieve this change. For example, we have here listed distribution centers as one of these systems that need to be realigned. Finally, we're going to discuss this evaluation of this plan. Overall, what I want you to see for this plan is that there may be short-term margin losses in the meantime while we're kind of taking the hit on the supply chain shortages that's happening from our post-COVID world. In the future, 2025, we're talking 3, 5, 10 years down the line, we're going to have strategic success from relationships. Thank you so much for coming today and listening to my presentation on organizational design, structure, and change. Here are some references if you'd like to dig deeper into any of the topics that I've discussed today. And please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you and have a great day.